get this, in the middle of the Triborough Bridge, and this woman is beautiful. She changes her pantyhose.
No.
Oh, yeah. And I jump in the back seat and I whip it out. I said, you know what this is? And she said, it's the greatest single experience of my life. And she gave me a $200 tip and her phone number in Acapulco.
Martin Scorsese's iconic 1976 film Taxi Driver delves into themes of violence and isolation in mid-1970s New York City. Robert De Niro stars as Travis Bickle, a troubled ex-Marine struggling with mental illness and severe social challenges. As his desperation and loneliness intensify, he eventually finds a dark purpose that shapes the course of his life. Here are the top 10 weird but true facts. Be sure to stick around to the end for a bonus fact. Number 1. The film's script was actually biographical, as writer Paul Schrader had endured a nervous breakdown after being divorced, fired from his job, and dumped by a new girlfriend within a brief span of time. He says he didn't speak to anyone for a few months, became fixated on guns, and hung around X-rated theaters. Number 2. Robert De Niro improvised the entire paranoid monologue, including the film's most iconic line. De Niro had actually picked up the line from Bruce Springsteen, whom he'd seen perform in Greenwich Village a few days earlier. When fans called out his name, Springsteen jokingly replied,
You talking to me?
a phrase that clearly stuck with De Niro. Number 3. Jodie Foster was underage when she was cast as Iris, the young streetwalker, a role so controversial that a social worker had to be present on set with her. She also spent hours with a therapist to demonstrate that the role wouldn't cause her psychological harm. For some of Iris's more provocative scenes, a stand-in was used. Foster's sister, Connie, who was 8 years older but shared her height. Number 4. One inspiration for Iris was a real-life teen streetwalker named Garth Avery, whom writer Paul Schrader interviewed. He had Jodie Foster meet with her, but the actress recalled years later that the two girls had nothing to say to each other. Still, the teen got a walk-on part in the movie as Iris's friend, whom Travis nearly hits with his taxi. Number 5. Director Martin Scorsese believes the film's most important shot is of Bickle on the phone, awkwardly trying to ask Betsy out again. The camera slowly shifts to the side, panning down the long, empty hallway beside him, as if the conversation is too painful to witness directly. This shot powerfully underscores Bickle's isolation and loneliness.
I tried several times to call her, but after the first call, she wouldn't come to the phone any longer.
If you're enjoying this content, please support the channel by hitting the like button. Thanks. Now back to the countdown. Number 6. The role of the angry taxi passenger who vividly describes his desire to unalive his unfaithful wife.
Man, I'm gonna kill him. Listen, there's nothing else. I'm gonna kill him.
Was originally meant for George Memoli, an actor from Mean Streets.
We're not gonna pay. We're not paying.
No, but why? We just said we were gonna have a drink.
We're not paying because this guy's a fucking mook. And we don't pay mooks.
However, after Memoli injured his back on another project, Scorsese unexpectedly stepped into the part himself. He later joked that De Niro, seated in the front of the cab, acted as his personal acting coach during the scene.
Did you ever see what a 44 Magnum pistol would do to a woman's face? I mean, it would fucking destroy it. Just blow her right apart.
Number 7. New York was notoriously grimy in the 1970s, a theme central to Taxi Driver. But during the summer of 1975, when the film was shot, the city was especially filthy due to a sanitation workers' strike, which left heaps of garbage accumulating on sidewalks and streets. Number 8. To prepare for his role, Robert De Niro worked as a late-night cab driver in New York City in early 1975. During one of his shifts, a young actor recognized him from The Godfather Part 2 and, shocked, asked, "Wait a minute, you just won an Oscar." My God, is it that hard to get work? Number 9. Scorsese wanted De Niro's Mean Streets co-star Harvey Keitel to play the role of campaign worker Tom, but Keitel wanted the smaller role of Sport, the pimp. Turns out Keitel knew a pimp in his own Hell's Kitchen neighborhood of Manhattan. Keitel took the man to the actor's studio, and together they beefed up Sport's scenes by improvising dialogue for the character.
Stuck on this.
Number 10. Travis Bickle sports an olive drab army jacket adorned with a large King Kong patch on one of the sleeves. According to Scorsese, this patch is a nod to the 1933 film King Kong, where a confused, violent giant gorilla tries to rescue a damsel in distress. The patch symbolizes Travis's own misguided attempts to save Iris. Now for a bonus fact. During an unbearably awkward lunch date, Betsy and Travis sit down for coffee and pie in a diner. Travis orders a piece of hot apple pie with a slice of melted yellow cheese. Notably, when Wisconsin serial killer Ed Gein was apprehended, he agreed to give a full confession only if the police brought him a piece of hot apple pie with melted yellow cheese on top. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like and subscribe button and check out more interesting videos on this channel. See you next time.
It's not Bertrand Russell, but what do you want? I'm a cabbie, you know? What do I know? I mean, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.